of 70 degrees right now at Cheeseman Park, where this camera is located. And looking to the west, you can see downtown, but you can't really see much past downtown. Difficult to make out the foothills, let alone the mountains. This is an enormous air quality alert that we have. Covers 20 counties in Colorado, so about a third of our counties are included. Southeast Wyoming included as well, from Laramie over to Cheyenne. Lots of smoke up that way from the Mullen Fire. And most of the smoke that we're seeing and breathing and smelling here along the Front Range is also originating from the Mullen Fire, which is just 10-15 miles north of the Colorado state line, not far from Centennial, Wyoming. Of course, we've got the Cameron Peak Fire up there in Larimer County as well, and a lot of smoke coming from that one. Other fires contributing to the smoke and the unhealthy air, both in-state and out-of-state. It's unhealthy air for everyone. We're not just talking sensitive groups. It's everybody here today. Poor visibility, and it is, of course, an action day because of the particulate matter. Here's the smoke forecast, and notice here quite a bit of smoke from that Mullen Fire. And look what happens as we go through time into this evening. Look at that smoke plume. Just comes straight toward Longmont and Loveland and into the Boulder and Berthoud areas, and then right on over onto the Eastern Plains. Our friends out near Burlington, Kit Carson County, you haven't had a whole lot of smoke out your way, but you should have a lot heading straight toward you. Brush as well. Diane checking in this midday. She is 70 degrees there in Brush. Most of us will climb another 5 degrees or so from where we're at right now. That'll put us right around 75 or so in Denver this afternoon. 60s in the mountains, 70s and a few 80s on the western slope, still a couple of 80s in southern Colorado as well. It's been an interesting month, hasn't it, in terms of our weather? We had the snow earlier this month. We've had days where it's been quite cold, days where it's been quite warm. Overall, there's been more warmer days than cold days, and so our average for the whole month is 2 degrees above normal. That's when you look at all the daytime highs and the overnight lows together. It was 81 in Denver yesterday, so we're dropping about 5 degrees or so here for the final day of the month. And then as we transition into October, it's usually the month we really start to cool down. Average low falls to 37 in October, average high 65. We average about an inch of precipitation in Denver in the month of October and about an inch of snow as well. Of course, it varies a lot year to year. Last year, 12.5 inches of snow in October. Remember that? Most of it fell right before Halloween. Remember how cold it was on Halloween last year? So we've got this cold front that's come on in. It's a pretty shallow front. It can't get up over the Front Range Mountains, so it's stuck right there on the hogback. And even if it could, high pressure is going to block it from going very far to the west. That's why temperatures aren't changing much for the western slope. Meanwhile, we got this storm system in the Great Lakes region, very wet, very cool for this time of year over in that area. And this is the general pattern right on through next week. Dry and warm weather for the west, wet and cool weather for the east. Here's the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Look at all that brown. That means drier than normal. And all that red means warmer than usual. It'll be cool out east right into next week. So up and down a little bit through the weekend. And then just up next week, Dominic, every day in the 80s.
I was looking at the calendar. I can't believe it was snow 3 weeks ago.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Back to 80s again next week.
All right. Thanks, Ashton.